final video in the series for task WC05 deals with adding the last 4 divs as shown in the page layout plan. In this, we will float the div named left content to the left and the 2 divs named right content 1 and 2 to the right, and let the div named center content take up the space in between them. Floating the single div to the left is easy. It's the same as shown in the previous video in the series, but floating 2 divs one on top of the other is problematic without adding another div to hold them. We'll add a div called right content, in which the other divs will sit. It needs to be the correct width and height to hold both right content 1 and 2. As in the previous video, the order of divs is important. Floated divs must appear in the HTML before divs that take up the remaining space. Therefore, the order of the divs we will enter at this stage will be left content, right content, and then center content. Alternatively, we could swap right content and left content, but my brain works left to right, so that's the way I'd do it. Copy and paste the div definitions and edit the name, placeholder, and comments as shown. Now set the size of the divs in the CSS file, adding the appropriate padding to left content and center content, but do not add padding to the right content div. Also add background colors to the divs. Add the float attribute to the left content and right content divs in the appropriate directions. Add both margin left and margin right attributes to the center contents div styles so that no part of it slides onto the floated divs. Save all and view your page. It should now look like this. However, it's not complete. We need to add the right content 1 and 2 divs to the div we created called right content. Return to the HTML file, delete the placeholder right content, and add the divs right content 1 and 2, appropriately indented to show they are child objects of the right content div. Now, in the CSS file, add styles to set the padding and height of each of these divs, taking the padding into account for the total height, but given that the right content div has its width set already, and the two divs we have just created are its children, then they will inherit its width by default. Give the right content 1 and 2 divs different background colors, save all the files, and look at the page you've created. It should match the plan given in the task. It's important to practice these skills, and so you are encouraged very strongly to do the homework task as well as tasks 6 to 11. The skills covered in these tasks will be addressed in another series of videos.